Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Incanthera Plc Annual General Meeting 2023. Throughout this recorded meeting, attendees will be in listen-only mode. Questions are encouraged. They can be submitted at any time using the Q&A tab on the right-hand corner of your screen. Please just simply type in your questions at any time and press send. I'd now like to hand over to Chairman Tim McCarthy. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Mark. Good morning, everyone. We are here at the AGM for Incanthera, and for anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Chairman Tim McCarthy. We have in the room here, in person, all four members of the team, which I'll introduce in a moment. We have one other shareholder in person, so welcome to you. And I'm hoping that we've got a number of shareholders online and maybe some others as well, so you're all very welcome. But first, let me introduce the team that I've got with me. You can see on the screen, hopefully, next to me is CEO Dr. Simon Ward, and out of shot we have our CFO Laura Brogden, and we also have Suzanne Brox, who's our corporate secretary, company secretary I should say, and head of communications. So it's fairly straightforward as an AGM. We've got a number of resolutions which I will read out now and give all the votings on those. We are obviously through this medium of IMC willing and able to take some questions. We've already had 3 pre-submitted questions, which we'll deal with at the end of the formal meeting. And if any of you wish to post any questions onto the portal, then please do so, and we'll deal with them at the end of the session. And of course, our shareholder in the room here is also very welcome to ask some questions at the end as well. So without further ado, I shall get going. And forgive me if I bow my head every now and again. I'm not praying to you. I'm just reading my scripts so I don't forget the numbers. We go straight into the business, which is to go through resolutions for voting. So resolution 1 is an ordinary resolution for the company to receive the accounts of the company for the year ended 31st of March 2023, together with a report of the directors and auditors of the company. And the voting that we've received for that is 16,960,807 ordinary shares in favour of resolution 1, and none against the resolution. Now, I've just read the first resolution and completely messed this up because I really should have gone to the room and asked for some hands. So forgive me if I do that. So we're all shareholders, obviously the team and one shareholder with us. So if I can just ask for a show of hands for in favour of the resolution. As it's unanimous, there clearly aren't any against, so it's passed by a show of hands, but as I've just previously read out the numbers for the proxy votes, I won't do that again. Now, the next resolution is my re-election on the normal cycle of re-election of directors, so I'm going to hand over to Simon just to handle that one.
Thank you very much. So again, if we go for a show of hands for passing this ordinary resolution to re-elect Timothy McCarthy, who offers himself for re-election as the director and is eligible. Those for, those against. We have everybody for in the room and none against, and we have received proxy votes in respect of 16,959,168 ordinary shares in favour of this resolution and none against. Therefore, we can pass this ordinary resolution to re-elect Timothy McCarthy.
Thanks, Simon. So on to resolution 3, which is an ordinary resolution to reappoint Jeffreys Henry LLP as auditor of the company. So if I go to the room, can I have a show of hands in favour of the resolution? Any against? Again, as it's unanimous, obviously, there aren't any against. And the proxy votes we've received for these are 14,981,007 in favour and 1,979,800 against the resolution. So with all of that, the resolution has been passed as an ordinary resolution. Resolution 3 has been passed as an ordinary resolution. So we go on to resolution 4, which is an ordinary resolution authorising the directors to allot relevant securities up to an aggregate amount of 518,828. So again, everyone in the room in favour? Again, unanimous. And the proxy votes on this are 16,959,168 in favour and 1,639 against. So resolution 4 has been passed as an ordinary resolution. We go on now to the resolution 5, which is a special resolution empowering the directors to allot equity securities pursuant to the authority conferred on them by the previous resolution 4, as if the preemption rights in Section 561 of the Companies Act 2006 did not apply, provided this power is limited to the allotment of equity securities as set out in the notice. So again, if I can ask everybody in the room to put their hands up in favour. Again, unanimous. And the proxy voting on this is in favour 16,784,008 and 1,639 against. So resolution 5 has been passed. It's a special resolution. So that concludes the formal business, all resolutions having been passed. So thank you all very much who participated and voted. So I think I mentioned right at the top of the meeting that we have 3 pre-submitted questions which we're going to deal with between us and the team. And we'll keep an eye on the computer screen. We've got just out of shot for you to see if anybody's submitting any questions online. So the first question we have is, have any of the prospective partners, now this, when somebody asks a question about prospective partners, you will all be aware that the company has been looking to commercialise our technology in the area of dermatology and prevention of melanoma and skin cancers, and we're making very good progress on that, and I think we've made a number of public announcements. I know we have, to update the market as we go along, and clearly as and when we have something to announce in terms of a concrete deal, we will put that out. But in the meantime, this question's come in along the basis of how we get on with looking for those partners, specifically asking, has any partners assessed the product in their own laboratories? And if so, have they shared the results with us, and are they comparable to our own in-house data? So this is, I guess you could put this in the realm of potential partner doing their due diligence. So I'm going to hand over to Simon to answer that, if you wouldn't mind, Simon.
No, absolutely. And the short answer is yes, of course. Our dermatology products have been externally evaluated by prospective partners. And to illustrate that, actually, our preferred partner has gone so far as to take 4 of our different product lines into their manufacturing processes to determine whether or not they can successfully manufacture a commercial scale and a commercial standard batch, which they have reported back that to their satisfaction they can. So obviously it's very exciting, and we're pushing along on that front with all steam.
Good, thank you, sir. Another question was quite a technical accounting question, which I'm going to ask Laura to respond to. If I can read it out, it's quite a detailed question, so forgive the technical nature of it. The accounts reflect a write-down in intangibles from 583,000 at 31st of March 22 to 58,000 at 31st of March 23, which is obviously the year we just reported on. The notes advise that licenses are amortised over 10 to 20 years, and the patents and IP are amortised on a straight line basis over remaining useful life up to 20 years. The magnitude of the write-down is therefore well beyond normal rates of amortisation. Can the directors advise what has been written down or written off and the basis for those write-downs? So I'm going to ask Laura if she can respond now. Unfortunately, both Laura and Susanna are out of the camera shot, but hopefully you'll be able to hear the answer from Laura.
Thank you. The general approach that's mentioned there in the question is obviously quite correct. And as is the usual case, as part of our annual audit process, we will carry out a full IP portfolio review. This year, in consideration of the length of time it takes to develop assets of this type, we felt a more prudent approach was appropriate, and as a team agreed to carry out a one-time impairment adjustment across the full portfolio. This is, of course, an accounting adjustment and in no way impacts on our ability to develop and commercialise our assets.
Okay, thank you. The third question we've had pre-submitted is about cash, the company cash position. So let me read that out, and I'm going to answer that myself. So given the essentially zero cash position of the company at the date of the annual report and accounts, and the fairly limited comments within that document about future source of funding, can the directors provide clarity and details as to how future finance is expected to be secured, at least prior to revenue generation? So this is a fairly simple response. We have been very cash strapped for a long time now, to the extent that we have been extremely careful on minimising our expenditure, All the team here in the room has not been taking any salary or recompense for anything which they're doing. And primarily Simon and myself have been supporting the company wherever is needed with small cash injections to pay the most essential bills. The question alludes to how do we look for future finance prior to revenue generation. If I can just use that to expand my answer along the lines of what everyone is expecting from us, and that is obviously a commercial deal. We're very confident about all the discussions that we've got going on, and I think we've said that publicly on a number of occasions. And our expectation is that we are more than able to support the company going forward as we currently are. And as and when we sign that deal, then that in itself will lead to revenue generation and income, which we're very hopeful that will, in very short order, make us cash independent of the equity markets and having to raise equity finance. I'm not saying that we will not raise any equity finance, but the whole point of doing a commercial deal is to reach a point where we are revenue generating, profitable and cash generative. And that's what we hope and believe, that when we enter into a commercial deal, or deals in the plural, if that may be, that we will very quickly get to that point. But certainly for the immediate point in time, then we will continue to support the company as we have done the last 12 to 18 months. So that's the pre-submitted questions. I'm just looking at, we've got a monitor just to the side here, and we're just going to have a look, if you don't mind, we lean over and look at the questions. Okay, so we've got a question here. I won't identify anybody by name, but I think I've probably just responded to the first question, which is how will the company be financed in the short term before any commercial deals are signed? So I think I've adequately covered that, hopefully. Does Incanthera have enough cash to reach commercial success? It's a similar question put in a slightly different way. The short answer is yes, we're fine in terms of cash. We're not going to get into financial difficulties. And we're very hopeful and confident about the outlook for doing a commercial deal, and that unlocks all sorts of positive things. Third question is, why have you dropped the reference to Sol as a product? I don't think we've necessarily dropped reference to Sol as a product, but what we've found over the last 12 to 18 months is the portfolio is expanding, and Sol may be there as a brand name going forward, or we may choose another brand name or another way to describe the products that we're developing and discussing with partners. So it's nothing deliberate. But let's see what happens as we go forward. And I think for the moment, oh no, another one just popped in. So if partners, I think this is a response to your answer, Simon. If partners are satisfied themselves as to the manufacturability, and that's a new word on me, but anyway, the manufacturability of Sol, have you a sense as to what is still holding them back from finalising a deal? Right. I don't think there is anything holding anybody back. There is a process that one needs to go through. Part of talking to potential partners is they need to do their due diligence, and as Simon was responding to earlier, they have gone through quite a number of steps to validate the processes and everything that is required. So I can't really answer that in the way that I might like to, but please be assured that we are making very, very positive progress towards a commercial deal. And the fact that we've reached that level of due diligence with at least one partner should give you some confidence that we are progressing towards a deal. There aren't any hurdles per se, which is what the question is implying. It's just process. So at the moment, we've got a clear screen. We don't have any more questions. Cheryl in the room, do you have any questions?
Not on the
No? Okay. All right. So I think we've covered everything. We've done the business of the AGM. We've answered the questions. I thank you all for attending today. Pretty short meeting, I know. But hopefully you can go away with our confidence about the path forward for the company. I know it's been a long haul for shareholders, and the same way it's been a long haul for us as a team and shareholders. But we're pretty confident of looking forward and starting to deliver on those commercial deals and the promises that we've made to you. So keep the faith, and we'll be back to you as soon as we can with some update news. But thank you all once again.
That's great, Tim. Thank you very much indeed, and to the board from Incanthera for updating attendees this afternoon. Can I please ask attendees not to close this session, as we'll now automatically redirect you for the opportunity to provide your feedback in order that the board can better understand your views and expectations. This may take a few moments to complete, but I'm sure will be greatly valued by the company. On behalf of the board of Incanthera Plc, I'd like to thank you for attending today's annual general meeting, and good afternoon to you all.